I'm Sydney.
And Connor.
And today we are trying Ringo Starr's favorite sandwich and to clear up a little bit of the misconceptions that we've been seeing online about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of, people just keep embellishing. That's kind of...
And it could be that they have different sources, but they're not citing them.
Yeah.
And from what I could find online today is that, well, just in general, because we've been looking at it for a couple days, is that his specific video, the reel, I will kind of link somewhere or maybe show a little clip
I'm making musicians'
here.
favorite sandwiches in today's. It's 2 slices of buttered toast with a soft spreadable goat cheese and a hard goat cheddar.
But basically he's talking about Ringo Starr's favorite sandwich, and when I googled what's Ringo Starr's favorite sandwich, most of the stuff that came up just referenced back to that. So I went looking to make sure that it wasn't an AI like deep fake type thing, and it eventually brought us to a interview he did with Colbert.
Yes.
In 2020, might have been 2021, but it was during their pandemic time, where it was over a Zoom or otherwise digital call. And what we found is different than that video. So you want to kind of...
Yeah, so there was a video that we recently saw online where the guy says, oh, this is Ringo's favorite sandwich, and then he's like, use soft goat cheese with hard goat cheese and toasted bread and everything. But Ringo literally just says, just cheese, goat cheese. And he says, I like goat cheese because it's got smaller molecules. And his reasoning behind that is very, very scientific. It's that cow, big molecule, goat, small molecule. So take that for what you will.
Yep. And
he does not elaborate. That's what he says. And then in turn with that, we found that he's never had a pizza, is what he says. And this was on Jimmy Kimmel. He said on Jimmy Kimmel that he had never had pizza. And his reasoning was that he's allergic to many of the ingredients, which we saw other people embellish on saying garlic and all this other stuff. And he's like, no, he's not had pizza or curry because he's allergic to multiple ingredients and he doesn't know what's in there. So that kind of tells me that when he says just cheese, he kind of means just cheese, which you found in Britain.
And so I was doing a little research because we have done some videos about British foods, which you may or may not be a part of our channel from. And what I was finding is that there are hot cheese sandwiches, not necessarily like what we think of as an American grilled cheese, but similar, where you toast the bread separately and then you put it together. And then there are cold cheese sandwiches, which is literally here's the bread and the cheese together. And then there's kind of like where you make it into like a salad paste where the cheese... Our cats are going crazy. But where you chop the cheese, you chop onion, and just other ingredients kind of into a more paste, like sandwich filling paste. But we are just going to take it very, very basically. We have some hard goat cheese, and then we have some soft goat cheese, which if you're ever in the market for goat cheese, check Costco, because this whole tube it's from a 2-pack, and it costs less than our local grocery store for like a little tiny...
Oh yeah, our local grocer it was about yay big, that much.
And like Costco only offers the plain goat cheese.
Yeah.
But, at least where we are. So we have that, and we have some of just normal bread that we've been having lately. It is a high fiber, whatever kind of bread you want to say. So it is a little bit different, but it should toast up just fine. And we have some butter, because a lot of the sandwiches that I was seeing, obviously everyone has their own recipes and little preferences. A lot of them said to butter the bread. So let's do the cold cheese sandwich first.
Yeah. Do you want me to put toast in toaster?
Yeah, let's put
or bread in toaster.
And we have to be careful because this bread likes to turn into a cracker.
Yeah.
So we just need it very lightly toasted warm.
Do we want to butter first or butter after?
From what I was seeing in the reel that was spreading a little bit of questionable information, he buttered it after.
Okay. That's how I typically do it.
He did it in a pan on the stove.
And then because this bread likes to turn into cracker, I'm going to do the 2 pieces together.
Yeah, so they kind of more
softer.
more steamy. And I will get to peeling up this cheese if you would like to butter our other.
Yeah.
And I find it interesting how he shredded the cheese in the reel over top the goat cheese. I feel like that probably works well. But I'm just gonna do the peel because this is one of my favorite kitchen tools.
It is a nice tool.
It's very satisfying.
Yeah, I just find it so funny how...
It's like, I get it. Maybe there's a different source, but it seems like he was just citing that one interview.
Yeah, they showed clips from that interview, and then each time, like, each of the ones that we're looking at today, they cite the same sources, and it's just like, okay, why embellish?
Yeah, this is what is on the record. He just says a cheese sandwich, specifically goat cheese.
Yeah. Fun fact, and Sydney already knows this, but I'll tell you, is that my favorite Beatles song is Octopus's Garden, which I have been questioned over time. Like, when I said that, they're like, what? And I didn't ever think anything of it until I was in college and people started saying that.
Mm-hmm. And also, isn't Octopus's Garden accredited to Ringo?
Correct, and that's what makes me think of it right now. Is it's like, yeah, he is the writer and composer of Octopus's Garden, and I always just liked it because it's just so nice and calm and happy, and yeah, but people shame it for, I guess, lack of musical creativity, which
I don't know, it seems a little creative to me.
Yeah, music doesn't have to always be complex.
Mm-hmm. And I'll get this open.
I'm just gonna leave this butter in a more thick pad-like because trying to spread it, it's just gonna rip apart the bread.
Yeah, we keep the butter on the counter, but sometimes it's very hard, and then other times it's soft. We do have central heating and cooling and whatnot, so it's not like the house is changing temperature too drastically over the day.
Outdoor temp has been 40 Fahrenheit and less, so on average.
Yeah, so that's just what we're working with. And then we've got nice, delicious goat cheese. My favorite way to have goat cheese on like a sandwich is mixing the goat cheese with honey and craisins or some other type of dried fruit. It's also really good with fresh fruit, but the dried fruit seems to like really like add a different layer of sweetness and stuff.
I like it with tomatoes and spicy peppers.
So, do we want to just do cheese, or?
Yeah, let's do the soft. You got a pad of it right there.
I don't think I've had goat cheese cheddar. It says it's sweet, mild, fruity. I'm gonna have a little nibble. That would definitely be nice on a charcuterie board.
I like that because it's got the it's got that forward punch that you get from cheddar, from like a sharp cheddar, but then it's soft.
It's not as hard texturally as a normal cheddar. It's also a little more mild, I would say.
Yeah. It's
not a sharp cheddar.
But it's not sharp, but it doesn't, it has the same, like, it's not like a coat your tongue. It has that robustness, whereas like mild cheddar tends to be, I don't know, almost waxy. Yeah, it doesn't have that. I think that's probably enough cheese.
Yeah, and we're kind of just improving. But is the bread ready? I smell it.
We'll go ahead and take it out just in case,
Yep, that's toasted bread.
But I did the thing, so it's soft on that side. We'll just leave it like
that.
Perfect.
We'll let that hang out, and since the sandwich is already kind of split a little.
Yeah, go for it.
Let's cut it like this.
All right.
And we'll give it a go.
Okay. Cheese sandwich. Just cheese.
Just cheese.
2 types of cheese, but well, 2 types of goat cheese. Oh, here we go. Dink.
Just cheese.
Yeah. It's very very inviting. I know a lot of children, at least where I grew up, would do buttered toast with like a Kraft single.
No, not the craft single.
This is a more developed version of that because it's not a craft single.
I feel like it's begging for like a tomato slice or something.
Mm-hmm.
But Ringo just says cheese. He does not specify.
Little wine.
Mm-hmm. Very sophisticated. Oh, hi, Gagi.
He's trying to figure it out. You're not supposed to be on the counter, buddy.
He's like got a back foot up on my chest.
Well, with wine, it's rather nice. It's very mild. I like it.
It kind of says poverty. Goat cheese. No, that's rich. It's expensive. This little block was like $9.
Mm.
But just cheese on bread with butter. It does not say like it just is what it is. It's not like it asking to be anything else.
I think caramelized onions, or like you said, like tomatoes with some maybe olive oil and balsamic.
I was seeing when people were talking about making like a cheese onion paste, they were kind of talking about adding pickle and stuff. Almost like a tuna salad, but cheese. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that would be more interesting and intriguing to me to try. Whereas this, it's just cheese.
Not gonna lie, I love the simplicity.
But it's also just kind of silly.
Yeah. Go ahead and get this ready. Ooh, my butter's running on me. Yeah, you know, if you have given the Ringo sandwich a try, or you just eat cheese sandwiches in general, and it's not even odd to you, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
If you have recommendations.
We're not calling this odd, we're just saying that it's odd how people are elaborating on it in ways that he didn't necessarily specify. I
would say, in terms of American food, it would, you know, with sandwiches, just cheese, unless it's a grilled cheese. I mean, if you think about it, grilled cheese is just cheese.
Yes.
But, yeah, it's... Everyone, when they like hear Ringo say just cheese, they're like, huh? It's like, well, but like you said, seen it as a common thing in the UK.
Yeah, and I would assume, based on him saying just cheese, that he means like the most basic version of it, where it is literally just buttered bread and probably a hard cheese. But he doesn't specify, so how are we to know?
Who knows? And he doesn't want to accept fan mail anymore, as of like 17 years ago. He said no more fan mail.
Yep, so Connor looked into that because we were seeing about maybe writing to him or inquiring from the man himself. But obviously that would make this video take a way longer time.
Or at least a follow-up, you know? Just be like, hey, Ringo got back to us, but...
He gave us a Ringo?
Yeah. Oh man, can you imagine just like answering the phone one day and says, hi, this is Ringo.
Moon is made of cheese.
Turns into Wallace.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the moon's made of cheese.
So this is the slightly improved version with the toasted bread.
It's definitely spreading better with the heat. Alright, so we got butter and...
let's hold it up to the camera when we're done.
There's that side, you know, nice and spread. Beaup.
Ringo Starr's favorite sandwich.
Let's cut this one on the diagonal. That's how I enjoy looking at it.
It does not look special on the outside.
No.
Because of the toasting on the inside.
It is toasted though. All right. Dink. Yeah. Toast it on one side, not the other.
Toasting improves it, but I feel like your bread makes a huge difference.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It almost tastes like a Cheeto. Like a puff Cheeto. Like it genuinely...
With the toasted.
It genuinely tastes like a Cheeto.
It tastes like Cheeto Puffs.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, depending on your bread, it might taste like a Cheeto Puff.
Yeah. No, that totally tastes like Cheeto Puff.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Aw, man. So maybe if you have a picky eater and you're trying to expand their palate, just be like, hey, puff Cheeto, but sandwich?
I think kids would love this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like the toasting adds a lot, but it's still basically at the end of the day a cheese sandwich. Let us know in the comments down below how you like your cheese sandwiches. And don't just say, oh, you know, grilled cheese. Just let us know if you do just cheese, if you toast the bread, if you don't toast the bread, if you make this mysterious like cheese sandwich filling paste that I saw some people post about. But let us know.
Let us know how wrong we are.
Mm-hmm. And also, if you have a source where Ringo elaborates on the sandwich, send us that.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have not found it. Just cheese.
Yeah, everything I found just went back to those two, and I didn't find. We didn't search extensively.
Yeah, we just did a preliminary. Okay, search up this key phrase. It's only really going back to these three things, one of which being the reel that talked about it. And then, you know, just kept rephrasing and looking into it to try and find if there were other sources. So that is where we're at this moment. And I'd like to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you flock and squawk again with us. I hope you flock and squawk again with us sometime. And for now, bye.
Bye.